What's up, guys? Exhaust power. I'm gonna go ahead and, for like the 8th time, install some camber kits for the front end of the Prelude, the 4th gen. Okay, previously I started with the ball joint, and it all seemed fine except for the clearance. With this in the way, that whole stud, the whole stud sticks up on there, and you barely have any space to begin with when lowering your vehicle, the Prelude to be exact. So I decided not to even attempt to run it. As soon as I installed it and I seen the space, I just took it back out. And so my next step was this SPC. I think their SPC is the name of them. And this one looked like it would work without any issues, except for the fact that this side does not have a washer on it or anything to stop this anchor bolt from sliding back and forth in the bushing. Like, it'll slide like that back and forth when you have it mounted in there. It'll be able to slide back and forth. So I ran these for a while, then I was hearing noises in the suspension. So the issue I was having on the driver's side, under acceleration and braking, this thing would slide back and forth. Let's see if I can get it to do that. Now, I don't know if that actually caused any driving issue. It just caused an audible issue, which I was very annoyed of. So like, these are opposite from each other, so it's supposed to eliminate them from sliding back and forth. Since they're facing inward, this one's facing inward, that's facing inward. Supposed to stop the control arm from being able to slide back and forth like that, but in theory, it's actually not working on this setup. So maybe if I had a washer to go in between or something, maybe, I don't know. But I'm taking them out for now. I'll have to figure out another way to adjust my camber on the front. Shame. Whatever. I couldn't exactly figure it out. I did rebuild my whole suspension, so I have ball joints, everything, sway bar links, bushings, all that stuff is done already. So, and I done this around the same exact time, so it was hard to pinpoint exactly what the issue was. And come to find that this thing was sliding back and forth in there, causing a clanking under braking, under throttle. So this is no good unless I can figure out a way to put a washer on it, maybe. So that was the second attempt. And the third attempt were these J-Power camber kit. I don't have the bushings in there at the moment, because the bushings are the issue with this. See, they got two different holes for two different offsets. The bushing was the issue. The bushing was, I'm not sure what material they used, but it didn't feel like the normal grade of polyurethane, like those red polyurethanes you see for the sway bar link. What they have was very hard, and as soon as I put the collar I put the bushings in, then I attempted to put the collar through. It ended up cracking the bushings, so I thought maybe I just got a bad batch of bushings. So I went to the seller, had him order me another batch of bushings, and I put the first bushing in, and the same thing happened. So I decided to say, the hell with it. Now I'm gonna make my own bushings for this. Maybe I'll make a video of that. So I went ahead and bought these. Now these are the first camber bolts, or camber anchor bolts, that I bought for the rear a long time ago. So I just had watched a video maybe a while ago, and they were saying that these are prone to breaking. And you know what? I never had an issue with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and install these on the front. And these are made by Mevotech, so they're pretty good quality. The ones on the rear did fine for how long I've had them, probably the 4 years I've had them. So the camber is perfect on that left rear. The left has, or I should say the rear has both camber anchor bolts and a camber ball joint. We'll probably look at that in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and change these out, and I'll have to see how they ride up front. They ride pretty good in the back, no issues. Alright, got the driver's side done, and I can't really tell too much of a difference compared to the passenger side. I love the way how the rear is. The rear is pretty good. It's almost like the passenger side has less camber, less negative camber, so yeah. And I gotta adjust the rear, passenger rear. And just a tip, when you do put these on, leave these a little bit loose. Because what you want to do is install it, then you want to jack up the suspension here, the whole spindle, jack it up to where the wheel would sit when it's on the ground, and then you could go ahead and tighten these up. Because it's a bushing in there and you don't want to have it fully extended. Then once the vehicle is set down on the ground, you're going to twist and run an issue of ripping that bushing in there. So just a tip there. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these nuts here. I have it fully extended out, and it's not really much. I know the kit says it's 1.75, but I think that's the total play of in and all the way out. So